New Line Cinema proudly presents a little holiday story. One Christmas Eve, Santa Claus got an unexpected gift of his own.
What in the name of Sam Hill?
30 years later,
Let's recite the code of the elves, shall we?
The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
Buddy's discovering who he really is.
You're not like the rest of us. I was sure when you cracked 6 feet that it would come up.
My bad.
You're not an elf.
Now, he's taking a journey to find the family he's never known in a place where he finally fits in. Boy. And nothing's going to stop him.
Sorry, your car's pretty.
Will Ferrell is Elf.
Hey, what's your name? Someone need a hug? Ah! Nutcracker!
Catch the holiday spirit.
Just trying to hug you.
This is when you're supposed to clap. All right, welcome. Thank you, guys. All right, thank you to the beautiful studio audience this week. Welcome back, guys, to Late to the Party. This is where we usually look at movies that are over 10 years old and, see if they're still cool or not. This week, we had the opportunity of watching a movie that I've never watched before. I'm not sure if you guys had, but it's been deemed a Christmas classic by some people in my group. So I said, why not? Let's give it a shot. Elf, directed by Jon Favreau, starring Will Ferrell, Zooey Deschanel, Michael Caan? How do you pronounce his? The dude from Misery.
James Caan.
That guy. I don't know. It's double A. You people changed the. I don't know. It's like Michael Cretan.
Dude,
like
he's
if you look at the spelling, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Anyways,
Godfather, bro.
Dude, it's fucking Sonny Corleone. How do you not know who he is?
I haven't seen that movie either.
I haven't seen that movie either. Anyways,
Told you.
yeah. I got my review from Family Guy off of it. They said when they start speaking Italian, you just lose interest. Anyways, this movie was made on a budget of $20 million and it ranked them $223 million at the box office, making it a commercial and apparently, according to a lot of people, a critical success. I didn't write down the scores, but all I know is that Walmart.com, I do believe, gave it a 5 out of 5. Which is the only score that really matters here. Yeah, so, man, dude, having never watched it, I was really impressed. I was genuinely impressed. I was kind of, I haven't watched too many Will Ferrell movies, to be honest, and this being one of them, he did a really solid job. Of course, I was also informed by some people that this was probably one of his best performances, so I'm like, ugh. So the bar's kind of high now. But I have seen Anchorman, so I thought it was kind of on par with that. So other than me being the one loser that hadn't watched it, was there anybody else that had, this is their first time watching it, or was everybody familiar with this movie? Oh, Nate! All right, let's get your, Isaac, you'd watched this one before, right? Sorry, you weren't on my screen, so I didn't see a hand raised. All right, Nate, what were your impressions on this movie?
I was nervous because I think Will Ferrell kind of, I was really impressed with his early run of movies, but he kind of devolved into just being the same person over and over again. And I was nervous about watching it. I kind of begrudgingly watched it, but I watched it with both Gwen and Juliet. And it was good. It didn't seem, he wasn't overacting. He seemed very genuine. He was totally believable in what he was doing. And even when it was over the top, it didn't seem like he was faking or forcing anything, or like he didn't have any of those Saturday Night Live gaffes where you see them kind of looking to the side and being silly and they're breaking character, but they just throw it in there anyways. It was solid. They had I think they spent enough time in the little character arcs with his interactions with his brother, the snowball fight, and with his love interest, his relationship with his father, and just people in the community. You know, it was good. It was solid. I was impressed with it. It's a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to come out of here thinking like, damn it, Vargas got me to watch another Batman Returns or whatever.
Hey, then, to be fair, I thought I was catching you guys to watch another Batman Returns, but like I said, I was genuinely surprised. Scott, this is for you guys. You guys can chime in. No preference who answers first or not. So other friends of mine have said that this is a Christmas classic. I said, really? It checks off a lot of the boxes. It had the Rankin and Bass special sort of claymation, or I'm not sure what you would call that. It obviously had the Christmas element to it. Is this a Christmas classic? Yes or no? And if not, what is a Christmas classic in your guys' eyes? How did this movie hold up to that standard?
You want to go first? I mean, I put it in the Christmas classic category, of course, because it has the Rankin and Bass stuff, and then it's got how could it not be a Christmas classic? It's about an elf, Santa Claus, toy making, takes place during Christmas. It's got the Christmas spirit. You're singing Christmas carols, Christmas songs, Christmas feels. It's got all of it. So, of course, it's a definite Christmas classic. It has everything on there. The only thing it's missing is somebody falling off a big building, but you know, can't be perfect.
Yeah, I think this is a Christmas classic as well. And I think it's probably one of the most recent additions to that list of Christmas classics. It's one of those films that, even though I'm not a big fan of Zooey Deschanel, I think she's arguably among the worst actresses on the planet. She does a decent job in this film. Doesn't really take me out of it like she would in other films that she's been in. And the movie is wholesome. There's no objectionable parts to it. There's nothing where you're like, oh, that's weird or awkward, or it's good, clean fun. And it's one of those things that you can watch with the kids and not feel like you're gonna take them to TED by accident,
Lego, from an artistic standpoint of view, I touched on the Rankin and Bass element. Also, the forced perspective that Jon Favreau went with. He wanted to keep the special effects to a minimum. And where was I going with this? What was your favorite element artistically? Was it the inclusion of the Rankin and Bass? Was it the forced perspective from the director? What do you think? Well, from you, what was your favorite element? As far as like artistry goes.
I was actually impressed with the set design. I of course, I'm always going to love any sort of animation that a movie includes. I really like that addition. It's something that other mediums can incorporate. So when I see that, I love it. But I really felt like the sets in this movie, like they sang, man. They put a lot of effort into them in a movie that's kind of, I would argue, kind of like on the lower budget side of things. It's not a grand legendary type picture. It is like just a holiday movie. It's kind of niche. So seeing sets that like had a lot of character and a lot of like lighting that I really enjoyed, it was a nice change, because I feel like a lot of times with Christmas movies especially, the backgrounds and stuff can be a little drab. So all in all, this movie did a really good job of bringing some of the backgrounds to life and making the city feel alive.
Beautiful. Isaac, this movie, the writer began writing this thing out in 1993. Was kind of stuck in production hell for a long time, finally released in 2003. Originally, Chris Farley and Jim Carrey were like the people who were written, for this movie, and they ended up settling on Will Ferrell. What movie do you think we would have gotten if Farley or Carrey would have been casted, or do you think Will Ferrell was it? Like this was probably the best thing that could have happened to these guys. Not that I'm saying Farley dying or anything, but
I think it would have been a hell of a lot different type of film. It wouldn't be as fun and wholesome as it is. I think it would have been a lot more in your face and loud and crude, and those dudes would have been, I think, a lot louder on it. I don't know. Like,
interesting.
I'm trying to think of like Chris Farley in that, and it's just like I don't know, it'd be wacky.
Yeah, well, plus people know that elves aren't fat, so that would
But see, he was also a human, so it would have been a good element to be like, well, you see, he explains why you're so big because you're a fat human. It would have been something along those lines.
True enough.
Sat in his dad's lap and broke his legs.
Yeah, he would have done a lot of crazy stuff, breaking toys. I what I really liked about this film was it threw in a lot of old school people who were in old holiday movies. Like we saw Ralphie from A Christmas Story in there as the guy that was the line leader of the toys, and that was cool seeing him in that. And then Bob Newhart, seeing him as Papa Elf. It was a fun movie. It would have been a wackier film, I think, if you had Jim Carrey or Chris Farley, because that was during their wacky days too. 93, we would have had like a Dumb and Dumber type fucking elf.
I wouldn't mind seeing Farley, but I wouldn't want his next Carrey doing his overacting and maybe it's just because I'm sick of him now. I used to love him in the 90s.
It would have been a movie you loved though in the 90s though, because if it would have dropped in like 94,
that's true. That's true. I wasn't sick of him yet.
There too, but as we're older now, we look at stuff like that. It's just like, damn, dude, that shit was wacky. That was wild shit. I loved all those movies. I still do, but they don't hit as great as they did when I was younger.
And this one doesn't go to anyone in particular. Anybody who wants to answer it, feel free. They've talked about a sequel for the longest time, and then they said they greenlit it, and then they canceled it. Does this movie even need a sequel?
No, it doesn't. It ended perfectly. If you want a sequel, read the book. Read that little book that they released on it. It's just the same story.
I don't know. I think this movie could use a sequel, but instead of Will Ferrell, it could be like a black midget lesbian character that would totally show how she could dominate everything and like put the elves to shame. Yeah.
Click your visioning there, Josh.
Sorry.
I guess we got our director. Overall favorite scenes. Nate, was there a scene that just stood out to you? Said, I love this scene. This is the scene that made me fall in love with this movie.
The snowball fight.
Okay.
For sure. He's I didn't even realize that it was his brother that he was chasing after. He bumped into him on the streets and he's walking and he's like, get away from me, you're a nerd. And then the bullies show up and start pelting them with snowballs. And then Will Ferrell was able to put his sugared up energy to use, and he's throwing snowballs so fast that his arms are like a blur, like almost like cartoony. Just taking out everybody. They even had the obligatory, John Woo diving to the side with the guns, but throwing a snowball instead. That was legit. It was legit. I was.
What's funny is I'd actually thought of you when I saw that. I said, I bet this is gonna be Nate's favorite scene. I should have bet money on it too. So I was like, oh man, I should have put money down. I was like, I bet. Lego. Was there a scene that was your favorite one that just said, this is it? This is the movie right here?
Oh man, I think when he buys his dad the extra special gift of lingerie, that was pretty fucking funny, man.
Oh my god, Scott!
So awkward.
Favorite scene? What was it? What made the movie for you guys?
It's hard. I mean, there's a bunch of great little bits, but I like the whole exchange with Peter Dinklage with the elf thing. And I think my favorite part of that scene though is is when he goes, "Oh, he must be an elf from the South Pole." Like there's like a whole other elves somewhere else. And I never picked up on that line. We had subtitles playing because we've been playing it at the store, and we had the subtitles on. We do have that available. I don't know why I couldn't find it today, but yeah, I never picked up on that line where he whispers that. I was like, oh, there's like a whole like different like elf crew out there that don't get to like work with Santa in the North Pole. They're the South Pole elves, and they obviously are cranky elves.
Oh
but
god.
yeah, that whole exchange was pretty fun. I like that one.
Yeah, there's that portion in there where Dinklage is running across the conference table at him, and he's like, "Oh, come here, little fella," and then he like just totally does like a double leg drop on him. But well, that scene is definitely near the top of my list. One of the things that makes this movie endearing is that, with the exception of his own father, like everybody that he interacts with is like utterly like taken by him. You know, they all react in a very positive way because he's just got nothing but, you know, goodness exuding off of him or whatever. And one of the scenes that cracks me up all the time is the scene in the mailroom where he turns this like terrible like slave grind sort of situation into like a hip hop dance party, you know.
Oh my god. Isaac, brother, what was the scene for you?
When he's eating all the candy. He starts off by eating the gum. They tell him not to eat the gum off the streets, and he eats the gum off the streets. And then he drinks the cola when he's at dinner with them, and he drenches his spaghetti in syrup, and then he just eats all that candy, dude. He's a wild man, dude.
He slept for 40 minutes.
Yeah. Fun little fact about that one too is he actually did that scene where he ate all that candy. He got sick.
Oh, man.
He did all those things, and he really chomped all that stuff down, and he got extremely sick that they had to pause production. Yeah, he didn't eat all that candy. I was like, yeah, that was probably was because he's like, yeah, we eat the 4 food group: candy corns, cotton candy, syrup.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was up there with confusing Finch for an elf. That was probably the theme for me. So it's just that was just great acting right there. The whole exchange was great. I was like, beautiful. As far as buckets goes, let's get right into it. Nate, where are you with this?
Oh man, well I guess it's 2003, right?
Yeah.
This movie's 18 years old, and I don't know if it's like it officially crossed the retro threshold or whatever, but I've seen tons of elf merchandise like all over the place. Probably even more than I had like 10 years ago. So it's got its cultural relevance. I was like I said earlier, I was stunned with the job that the acting was. I didn't see any holes in the effects or anything like that. It was, you know, I gotta go with a 10 on this one. The kids liked it. I liked it. It was wholesome. You know, it was solid.
Yeah, it's always great when the kids love it too. Lego, where are you at, brother?
All in all, it's a pretty decent flick. I don't know if it's a Christmas classic. I was thinking about it though, and I don't know that there's any movie that I could watch every single year and be like jazzed about. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just not feeling the holiday spirit, but I'm gonna give this one an 8.
Not even Jingle All the Way?
Hey, if we're talking Jingle All the Way, that's a different story.
He's got 2 more stars. All right, Scott, where are you guys with these?
This is one that we watch every year at Christmas time. It's this one, A Christmas Story, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's like the
Die
week,
Hard.
Die Hard. It's like the week leading up to Christmas. We watch one of these each night. And
Shazam.
usually well, that's a new one, but
Yeah.
we usually add
Lethal
that.
Weapon?
We watch that, yeah, with the family. It's always playing in the background on Christmas Day when we're opening up gifts and things like that. And I love it too because there's one scene my dad has seen this movie probably a million times, and he cracks up at the scene every time. Is when Buddy puts the star on the tree. Oh, I got that. And he goes off screen. Then he just comes and runs and jumps up, gets him every time. And anything that can make my dad laugh so hard he starts crying and almost falling out of his chair. It's a good movie, and it's a classic, and I like it a lot. It's a 10 for me for sure.
Yeah, considering that it's a Christmas classic and that it's wholesome and there really aren't any holes in it, that my inclination would be to give it a 10, but I can't give anything a 10 that has Zooey Deschanel in it, so it's a 9.
Damn it, Zoe. Isaac.
Dude, Zoe's hot, bro. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, especially as a blonde?
She kept her mouth shut, maybe.
And she's got a beautiful singing voice, dude. I love that.
That was actually improvised too. I learned that whole singing scene was they didn't know that she could sing.
Yeah, she's a beautiful singer, a great movie. I watch this one every Christmas too. We watch it during the holidays, and when it came out, I bought it and I watch it still. And it's a 10, dude. It's a 10. It's funny. It's cool. It's always laugh. And then Grayson saw it for the first time today and actually watched it all the way through. So 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with you guys. Being able to mesh all those worlds of using the old Christmas classic little figures and toys and putting it together so well, forced perspective, limiting the amount of special effects. It's good direction from Jon Favreau, man. I think that guy is a beast when it comes to being a director. So it's now on my Christmas classic list. Go figure. It's going to be a 10 out of 10 for me as well. So thank you guys so very much. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, tell us below why. Tell us what is your Christmas classic. Hit that like, subscribe. Let us know what other Christmas classics are out there that we haven't talked about and that we should be talking about. And I'm going to pass the baton off to... Whose turn is it this time?
Lego.
To Lego! All right.
It's
Lego of my ego, and he will be choosing next week. So...
Remember the wheel's dead, so we can do our old routine now.
That's right. All right, Lego.
New year.
Oh God, new pain.
So are we choosing it now or are we waiting?
Let's choose it now.
Let's choose it now. Go back to the old. You got your few, and we'll do the thumbs up and all that stuff like we used to do, dude. Maybe we'll get some more views.
I didn't prepare a list.
Are you gonna do the El Topo?
Exactly. We're taking it back. We're doing El Topo, baby.
All right.
I've been wanting to watch it, so I'm down. Let's do it.
Buckle up.
We don't get to It's the
it's cool. I'm so stoked about this. Like, the Elf was all right. Bad Santa. It's just, I don't know. Some of the ones that put it this way, if watching the movies that they're forcing us to watch was driving like views or something like that, I'd be down for it, but it's not. We had more views when we did our own thing on it. So, I was having more fun when we were doing our own thing too. It was very personal. It was either personal happiness that we got to watch each other's movie, or like vengeful fun too, because even if I'm the butt of the jokes, they're still funny on film. So.
I feel like El Topo is in both of those categories.
We'll see. Hopefully there's not any naked kids.
Lego makes no promises. No spoilers, Lego, no spoilers.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Join us next week. With much love. Merry Christmas. Thank you guys for all the support. Check out our White Elephant video. It should be up now. And have a Merry Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. I'm Jose.
Merry Christmas.